In this video, we're going to be going through how to install CPV Lab to your server, and we're going to make this as simple as possible and go through all the steps. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is once we have purchased CPV Lab, we're going to go ahead and go to the license details area. And we basically, once we're in this area, we're going to go ahead and scroll down, and then we're going to go ahead and click on the install package. So where there's going to be a blue button right here, all we have to do is go ahead and click on this, and then it's going to go ahead and download our package, and then we can go ahead and move on to the next step. So now we're going to go to our hosting provider, and I'm going to go ahead and click on File Manager. Now keep in mind this will be different depending on which platform you're using. Some use cPanel, hosting, or uses something called hPanel. So this will be a little bit different depending on your hosting plan. But typically most of them are going to have File Manager. So we're just going to go ahead and click on this, and we're going to go ahead and go into the File Manager. So we just have to give it a few seconds here. So we're going to go ahead and go to public HTML, and then we're going to go ahead and upload those files to the directory here. So now we're going to go ahead and extract the file, and we're going to go ahead and copy this here. We'll just paste this here, and then go ahead and extract it to this folder. So now we just need to load our install wizard page. So the install wizard page is going to look like this. It's going to look like example.com/install-wizard. So you're going to need to replace example.com with your domain, and then put /install-wizard.php, and then we're going to go ahead and load this page. Once we load this page, it's going to look just like this, and this is going to help us install the rest of CPV Lab. But before we get into that, we need to create a database before we actually get into this step. So we're going to be creating a database in just a few seconds here. So now we're going to go ahead and create a database. Now this is going to be very simple. Sometimes it's overcomplicated, but it's really not that difficult. Now keep in mind, this is going to be different depending on which hosting provider you're using. I'm using Hostinger. If you're using something like HostGator, it might be slightly different because they're going to be using something called cPanel. So just keep that in mind that it is going to be slightly different depending on which hosting plan you're actually using. But for this one here, all we have to do is click on databases. So I'm just going to go ahead and click this and then go to management. And then we're going to give our database a name. So I'm just going to call this platform. And then the username, I'll just call this example name. And then we'll just go ahead and create a password here. And then we're going to go ahead and click on create. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to the install wizard page. And then we're going to go ahead and click on next here. And then we're going to go ahead and make sure we put in our license email. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on download install package. It should take just a few minutes here. So once it's finished downloading, we're going to go ahead and just drag and drop the file to the file manager here. And then we'll go ahead and extract this as well. So once it's finished uploading, we're going to go ahead and just extract this. And I'm going to go ahead and just extract it to public HTML here. And then we're going to have two different folders here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the files and guides, or additional files and guides. And then we're going to go ahead and move the files from the V12 install folder to the main directory here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on this and then click on select A, or sorry, Control A. And then I'm going to go ahead and go to move. And then I will move it. We'll go ahead and go to the dots up here, and we'll move it to public HTML. And we'll just go to replace. And then we should pretty much be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and go back here. And I'm pretty sure we should be good from here. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to the install wizard and continue from here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on next. And then we need to set up the file permissions. So to check the file permissions, all we're going to go ahead and do is click on the green button here, and this will automatically detect the file permissions for us. So here we can see that the install wizard has actually set the permissions automatically, so we don't have to do this manually. Now keep in mind that depending on which hosting provider you're using, this may vary. Some hosting providers may make you do this manually, but in this instance, we can go ahead and go directly to the next step here. So now we can go ahead and continue with step 4. Now we already created a database, so we really don't have to do too much here. We can go ahead and actually skip to step 5 and just go ahead and enter in our database details. So here, all we have to do is go ahead and enter in the database name, the user, and the password. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my hosting provider here, and then just copy the database name that we created earlier, and then paste this into the database name area here. And then we're going to grab the username and then the password as well. And then we're pretty much good to go. And then we can go ahead and just click on finish the install and then continue from here. After clicking the install button, we need to make sure that we change the permissions for a few different files. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to our file manager here, and we're going to be looking for this folder and then this file here, right? db_params.php. So we're going to go ahead and go back to that. So let's go to folder here. So we can see that the folder's right here, and we just need to go ahead and find that file specifically. So that would be up here. And we're going to go ahead and click here and then edit the permissions. And we're going to go ahead and remove the right here and put this at 644, and then go to update. And then we have that one set. Now we just need to go ahead and set the next one here. So now we're going to be looking for the license folder and then the license file here. So let's go ahead and go back, and we're going to be looking for the license folder and then the license file. And then we need to set the permissions to 644 as well. And go to update. And then we're pretty much ready to go. So we can go ahead and go back to CPV Lab, and we'll go ahead and refresh this page. And we can see that the warning is gone now. So we can go ahead and log into our campaign for the first time. Now keep in mind that the username and password is going to be admin. So in case you're wondering what the password is and the username, just keep in mind that it is going to be always admin when you first log in, and then you can change this within CPV Lab. So we're going to go ahead and click login, and then we're ready to go. So from here, you can go ahead and start CPV Lab. You can go through the walkthrough here, and check out the whole interface. So thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm really glad to see you guys made it all the way through. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please contact support, and they'll do their best to help you and make sure that you're able to get the CPV Lab up and running. So thanks again. I hope everything's going great, and take care.